Are you tired of selling your cards on eBay, creating the listing, taking the pictures, front, back, shipping, non-paying bidders? Let the pros at Fanatics Marketplace do all of the work for you. I do. That's why I use Fanatics for my vaulting and for my selling. If you've got a bunch of unwanted inventory that you've been sitting on for days, weeks, months, years, ship it to Fanatics Marketplace and let them do all the work. Just make sure when you ship it, you use the promotional code Cajun, all capital letters, CAJUN, and tell them that Cajun Cardboard sent you, and let the pros do the rest at Fanatics Marketplace. All right, guys, picking up with part two. We're moving from a Kobe Bryant record to a Michael Jordan record with card number one. So let's not waste any time. I had to do this in two parts. There was just too much chaos, too much good going on. And so we left off with the Kobe record. Let's start with a Michael Jordan record. And we're starting with this bad boy, bottom left of your screen. It's not a legacy collection. It's the base card. Well, it's a parallel technically, but it's the 1997 Flair Showcase Row 1 Michael Jordan PSA 10, and it sold for $5,040. It's got that incredible shimmer type image in the background right there with MJ shooting his jumper in the foreground. This PSA 10, let's look at it, guys. Let's look at it. This is a Pop 49 card. It's been graded about 654 times. It's got 11% gem rate. And the PSA 10 last night sold for $5,040. As you can see on my card ladder sales history, I've got it sorted by the highest price ever paid, and last night was it. And it wasn't close. It was a new record by a full 20%, 25%. The highest ever paid for this card was also this year. The last three highest prices ever paid for this card were this year, all just under $4,000. Well, last night, this bad boy leapt over $5,000, sold for $5,040. So here it is, another Jordan card, a base Jordan card. Theoretically, it's a parallel, but you get my point. It's not the legacy collection. Let's just put it that way. New record, Michael Jordan Beam Team. All right, well, we got to look that up. That's one of his foundational inserts. If somebody came to me and said, hey, Cajun, you got a big mouth. You talk a lot about Michael Jordan cards. What's the first insert or parallel that I should buy if I want to collect 90s MJ inserts and parallels? Well, you guys know me, so my first answer is always going to be, which one do you like the best? Buy the one you like the most. But if you made me choose, I don't give people advice on what to buy, but if you made me choose and I was doing this over again, the very first one that I would buy would probably be this 92 Beam Team or the 93 Scoring Kings. I don't know, in some order. Those are the two that I would personally start with, regardless of what my budget was. Maybe you can't afford $58.80 for a PSA 10, but this is a foundational MJ insert from the 90s with that velocity pattern in the background that optics stole. Pop 107, check it out. Here's what the chart looks like over the last year. Steady Eddie, it's only up 3%, which is basically even in my book. 58.80 last night, however, was a massive jump from 47.50, over $1,000 difference. What's really weird is it was 5,800, 4,600, 5,900, 4,700, 58.80. So interesting stuff going on right there with those sales. So I consider that a very, very good sale over the last year. So big sale right there for that Jordan 92 Beam Team. We've got a 2015 one-of-one LeBron BGS 9.5, $6,300 last night. Now is probably a good time as a Jordan over everything guy to at least acknowledge how preposterous it is that LeBron James is putting up triple doubles in the Olympics, a shortened game in the Olympics at age 40. There's only been two triple doubles in USA basketball history. They were both LeBron James, and they were done 12 years apart. Okay, that's ridiculous. He is doing things that no one's ever done. Love him, hate him, it doesn't matter. If you can't take a step back and admire what he did on the basketball court, you have a problem. It's the same thing with Karl Malone. It's the same thing with, Michael Vick. These guys may or may not be, not that I'm comparing LeBron James to Karl Malone or Michael Vick. Remember, two totally different things. What I'm getting at is you have to remove your personal bias from the player and at least respect him. You don't have to collect him. You don't have to buy LeBron James cards if you're a Jordan over everybody, or you just don't like the way he carries himself or the way he achieves what he achieves. If you don't like it, that's fine, but you can't say he's not one of the greatest that has ever done it. Maybe the second best that's ever done it in my book. That's where he is on my list. So have some respect for the guy, whether you like him or not. And he brought a gold medal home to the USA. He was a humongous part of that. They handed him the keys and he did the job. 8.5 MJ 6300 for that one. Really off center left to right. So I'm sure that had something to do with that sale. Really generous centering grade there. Caitlin Clark jungle print. So not only is it a WNBA Panini instant thing with the sticker auto of Caitlin Clark, it is a jungle print background. $6,900 for that card someone paid. Congratulations to the seller. 2004 SP Game Used LeBron James patch auto, serial number to 50, BGS 9. Pretty cool patch right there. That card does 7,500. And this is where the insanity really starts to break loose, okay? This is when I was doing the video and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, oh my gosh. And then oh my gosh. And then oh my gosh. And it just kept building to a crescendo until we got to more insanity at the top. And so everything from this point out is going to be bananas. Just stay with me and buckle up because it's going to be a hell of a ride. Let's start with the 1984 star number 288, not his rookie card, the number 288 Rookie of the Year card in a BGS 7, which, guys, keep in mind is like a PSA 5, okay? BGS 7, number 288. Here we go. There's the card. That's great. You've got, Michael Ray Richardson guarding him. Everything's great. What the hell just happened here? Up 272% over the last 2 years. The last sale was $3,960. Last night it sold for $9,300. Someone please talk me off the ledge. Please tell me this gets paid. This looks like too much of a leap from A to B. $9,300 right there. Next, we got a Jordan BGS 9, $9,600. It's got a PWCC, old PWCC 30% eye appeal sticker. They're still trying to figure that out. I don't see the PWCC little emblem up here in the top right like it should have, so bear with them. They're still getting that right as they transition to Fanatics Collect. But then that's just a little card in the middle. It's just a little baby Jordan rookie BGS 9 in the middle. Then we get back to more craziness, right? 1984, the other 1984 card. There's 4 1984 star cards. I think I got that right. There's the big boy 5x7, number 26. There's the 188. The 288 that we just saw. And then there's this 195 gold medalist card. And then, of course, there's the star 101, which, buckle up, there's one coming up. And you're not going to believe what that card did either. And that's been the talk of the hobby recently, at least in the Michael Jordan world. The 1984 star, number 195 last night. This one did 10,200. So we just saw 9,300. Now we're going to take it another $1,000 up, 10,200. And guess what this chart's going to look like? The same. That is a hellacious move from May. Last I checked, there's 12 months in the year. May, June, July, August. This is less than 4 months ago. It was a $2,200 card. It was a $2,200 card for almost 30 consecutive sales, okay? Maybe it got even lower than that, for God's sakes. This card was an $1,100 card at one point in the last 30 sales, but let's say it was a $2,000 card. Last night, it sold for 10,000, sorry, did I get that right? 10,000, where is it? Oh, was there 2 sales last night? Hang on. There were 2 sales last night. So there was one for $6,200 on eBay. This one on Fanatics for $10,200. Wow, the plot thickens. Now we really got to take a look at this and figure out what the heck is going on. So it did jump, right? We've got 3 sales all in that 6,500, 6,800, 6,200 range. This sold the same night on eBay. And here's my guess. Somebody had this thing on eBay. They for sale, right, at a fixed price. They noticed, the buyer noticed that on Fanatics Weekly, number 134, it sold for $10,200. And so somebody immediately jumped onto eBay and hit buy now for $6,200. My guess is this one that was bought on eBay last night, you can figure out the time, 3:43 p.m. It looks like this one sold actually before the one on Fanatics Weekly. So that really confuses me. You guys let me know what you see here. This is a bunch of craziness right now. 2 cards selling last night, $4,000 difference for basically similar grades. I don't know if it was exact same subgrades, but subgrades don't make a $4,000 difference. That's bananas right there. Maybe somebody saw something, maybe somebody saw something in this card thinking, hey, you know what? I can probably crack it and resub it and get a PSA 6 or something like that. Maybe that's the move that's being made. I don't know, but that's two crazy sales on two 1984 Jordan cards. Well, I can't stop there. I've got to look this card up on Card Ladder as well. It's the 1980 Magic Johnson rookie card, but guess what? It's not the one with Bird. It's not the scoring leader rookie card with Bird. It's the one with the great Jan Van Bredikoff in his kidnapper serial killer haircut right here. This PSA 10 sold for $10,200. There's the card right there. Was I lying about Van Bredikoff? Does it not look like he's got children in his unmarked van that he has kidnapped? That's crazy. Not to mention the fact it looks like he's performing a soccer throw-in instead of shooting a basketball, but that was basketball in 1980. So Van Bredikoff, Doc in the middle, and then of course the Magic Man over here shooting a floater trying to evade the charge. This PSA 10, guys, are you ready for this? This PSA 10 is a Pop 22 card. It's been graded over 3,400, almost 3,500 times. Look at the gem rate. 0.73%. That means you have less than a 1 in 100 chance, even in South Louisiana, to grade PSA 10 if you submit a raw card. It's probably much worse than that if I had to guess right now, because that includes when they were more lenient grading PSA 10s back in the day. That's the card. That's what it looks like. Pop 22. That's a crazy small number. Look at this sale. It's down $17,000 from a year ago, about 13 months ago. The last one was $27,600. This one last night sold for $10,200. What am I missing? Someone please tell me, what am I missing? I don't see any glaring problem with this card. They've got the typical, the little bit of ink up here. So maybe that has something to do with it. These cards are notorious for having ink marks. Of course, on the rookie, they've got the print line down here, but that's not on there. And then you've got a little bit of black ink up here that you can see spattered across the top. Maybe it was a lenient PSA 10. I don't know, but down $17,000 for the PSA 10 copy. That is crazy. So there's not a record, but a really, really shocking sale the wrong way, right? Well, let's keep going because there's a lot more to look at. Everybody knows this is the hero. This is Captain America after that game in the gold medal game against the French. This is the 2009 Panini Classics Steph Curry, serial number to 499. It is a 1010, and it sold for $10,800 last night. I've got it pulled up. If you look back, let's see, 10,800 is a pretty big jump from 6,600. Wouldn't you agree? This was a couple months ago, people. This was about a year ago, a little less than a year ago right here. 89, 79, 66. It was trending downward. And then check this out, 10,800. That you got to go all the way back to 2022 to get that number. So that is a humongous sale for that card. I'm curious what the pop is. It's pop 25. So that's a big sale right there and a huge comeback from the last three sales. It was trending in the wrong direction quick. And then last night, somebody's like, you know what? I'm going 5 figures on that bad boy. We got a limited logos, Dwayne Wade from 2003, his rookie year, first year exquisite. This is a pop 5, 4 graded higher. This PSA 8 does 12,600. That's a card right there. I'm telling you right now. I don't give people investment advice. I'm not saying go out and buy this Dwayne Wade card, but that is a card right there. It seems like it should be worth more than $12,600. One of the 3 best shooting guards that ever lived, along with Jerry West and Kobe Bryant, in my personal opinion, as of right now. Maybe that'll be eclipsed. Now, who knows what a shooting guard is now? Do we even have shooting guards? Booker's the only one I can think of. Everybody else is like that hybrid, point fulcrum guy. Next to that, we've got the 2003 Exquisite Collection, Michael Jordan, number 220, serial number to 225. This is a BGS 9.5 minimum gem. Guys, this is a base card. Every single card in Exquisite was serial numbered. I know that sounds crazy. That's the way it was. That's why it was so unique. That's why the packs cost hundreds of dollars, which was just crazy, exorbitant, and opulent at the time. Nobody could believe it. They didn't think they were going to sell. Well, trust me, they sold, and they're still selling, and they're selling for a lot more today. This is the base, serial number to 225. It sold for $13,800 last night. There's the card. What a card. What a design. Serial number to 225, pop 13. There is the all-time history for this card. So not the all-time record, but the second highest price ever paid. Here we go. Record was set around $20,000, just shy of $20,000 this month 2 years ago. Dipped all the way down to 10, got under 5 figures to 9,178, and then exploded last night all the way back up to $13,800. So monster pickup last night. What a base card that is for Jordan right there. Next to that, we've got White Ice. Victor Wembanyama rears his ugly head. Another incredible performance in the gold medal game. The dude did everything he could do for his team, weighing 114 pounds, to give his team the gold medal. They're going to have to be happy with the silver. The host nation, I think, has never won gold. Did I get that right? That can't be right, because U.S. has been the host nation. So it's been a while. Let's put it that way. They finished with the silver. 2023 Prism White Ice Victor Wembanyama. These were serial numbered to only 35. This PSA 10 is a Pop 11, and it sells for, I guess that's a color match. I'd call it a color match. If it was my card, I'd certainly call it a color match if I was selling it. $16,800. There's the card right there. And despite all the turmoil, and despite me repeatedly telling people Victor Wembanyama cards are going down, Victor Wembanyama cards are going down, not because he's not otherworldly, just because they're gonna go down because they came out too hot. This one's not. If I've got it sorted by price, this is the all-time record. You're looking at it. There it is. That card broke the all-time record, 16,800. If we look at dates sold, 16.5, 16.5, 15.5, 16.8. So that's the most ever paid. There's only been 4 sales, but that is the all-time record. So another record shattered right there. Scotty Barnes, National Treasures. This is serial numbered to only 5. An amazing patch. He had a huge step forward last year. Great rookie year. Huge regression second year. Great third year. Let's see what Scotty Barnes and the Raptors do next year, other than finish last in the East, because they suck. They're not going to finish last, but they suck. But Scotty Barnes was otherworldly last year. All-star player right there. BGS 9.5 for that Emerald serial number to 5. $17,400. That's buku money. That's a big number right there. Minimum gem on that one. And then here we go. Let's go to 2018. We're back to Kobe Bryant. We've seen a couple of Kobe Bryant all-time records already. This is his 2018 Prism Gold serial number to 10. It's BGS 9.5 quad gem, which on this card, people may like it because it's sort of a color match. Gold label, gold card, gold jersey, Kobe, gold medalist, over and over we can gold, go gold, go gold. 19,200 for that quad. I've got it pulled up right here. What is that? Let's kill that. Here it is. There's the card right there. God, what a card. 19,200 last night. That is up from 14.5. That is up from 14.5. That is up from 10. But that is down from 54,000. So let's keep it in perspective. Last night was a tremendous sale for this card. Up $5,000. Up almost double from June a year ago. But check this out. At one point, yes, you're reading this right. Someone paid $108,000 for this card. And yes, it was his jersey number, but I don't give a damn. That's too much money. On Fanatics Premier in 2021, when nobody knew what the hell they were doing, or at least didn't care about money because it was flowing like water, someone paid, and this is card number 468. What was last night? Different card, okay, just making sure. Yeah, because it wasn't a jersey number last night. That is a big price. $108,000 last night. Again, $19,200 last night is the third highest price ever paid for this card in a BGS 9.5. So I think that's a great sale right there and a great indicator for the Kobe market. It's a big step up from the last 3 comps. And let's keep going. This is it. This is top row, guys. These are the last 3 cards, but we're going to spend some time talking about these. So we've got Jordan, Kobe, and Durant. I don't talk about Durant very often because honestly, his cards haven't been doing anything really great, to be quite honest with you, and they're kind of tough to comp, to be also quite honest with you. But this is a card that's in the card ladder database. It's his 2007 Exquisite Collection, serial number 99. I don't know for sure, but I think in Exquisite, the horizontal was the true RPA that year. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I don't know much about 2007 Exquisite, so I could be wrong on that. But I think this is considered his true RPA. It's a BGS 8, old BGS 8 label with the white and the blue in the background, which everybody hates. This card sold for $19,800 last night. Check this out. I'm going to show you a tale of Durant's cards, and this is why I haven't looked at them in quite a bit, because this card in the same grade sold for $160,000 3 years ago. Did you hear me? $160,000, and last night it sold for 14, and we're considering that a good sale because that's up from 13. So it went up from 13 to 14, but keeping it in perspective, $160,000. I think that person thought maybe Durant was going to pick up 2 more titles in the last 3 years. That has not been the case. Again, one of the greatest USA Olympic performers of all time. It was nice timing for this to end last night because he had a big-time game and he had a big-time Olympics, to be quite honest with you. But this card has done nothing but get punched right betwixt the Nuggets since 2021. So good and bad story to be told right there. And then let's talk about the 2003 Exquisite Collection Limited Logos. Kobe Bryant, what a patch on this one. These were, of course, first-year Exquisite Limited Logos, serial numbered to 75. Intricate, awesome patch right there. BGS 8.5, 10 autograph, $31,800. Here's the card. That patch ain't even close. This is the example card that they use on Card Ladder, right? Look at that patch. Look at this patch. It's not even close, right? It's no contest. That's apples and oranges. But pop 20 for this card. There's your chart right there. Down all time. So back in 2020 was the first time that this particular grade ever sold. It sold for 50 grand. This card got all the way up to 114. Last night it sold for 31.8, which is right on the number, guys. So right on the number. If you average the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sales, you're probably averaging right at that. Let's see if we can do 2 years in here. Can I do it? No, because it's going to pull a $103,000 sale. So interesting. If you ever wanted to become an ultra super collector in Kobe, now might be the time. Although we did see a couple of cards set all-time records for Kobe. So there's just a bunch of chaos going on in the market, good and bad. Speaking of chaos, the big winner is the card that everybody in the hobby's been talking about, the 1984 Star 101 PSA 6 XRC. Oh my gosh, I said it. I called it the XRC, just like Dr. Beckett did. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to get into all that Star versus Fleer crap. Let's just appreciate the card for what it is. This is a PSA 6 copy. It sold for $33,600 last night. And if you're a Star collector, you know that means something. There's your card. That's not the one that sold last night, but that's a card that sold. And here you go, $33,600. This is the all-time chart. Again, this one goes all the way back to 2022 when PSA started grading them just before the National. Check it out. The card came out hot. It came down. Everybody was like, you know what? I'll wait. Let's see how many there are. And then people were like, there's less than 100. There's only 79 PSA 6s. That's not very many. Maybe I should buy one. And then everybody had the same idea. And look what the card's done. Last night's jump from 20,000 to 33,600 is pretty significant. The card has more than doubled over the last 2 years. I thought this would be the peak for quite some time because people would be panicking, buying the first one, pop 4, pop 6, pop 8. Well, the pops run all the way up to 79, and it's going to keep going. It's going to go over 100. It's going to go over 200, quite likely, because as people see these absurd PSA prices, they're just going to buy the BGS and try to crack them, and eventually it's just going to happen. So it's going to go up. I don't know what the pop's going to end up at, but it's not going to stay at 79. We know that, right? So, and we can actually look at that on Card Ladder. That's another cool feature of the Card Ladder database is you can see the pop. Well, there's your pop. The pop came out at 17 the first time they reported it back in 2022, and it's only going to rise and rise and rise, and it actually took a big jump here, and it got all the way up to 79. So just kind of keep that in mind. There's going to be a bunch of them. There's 1,200 Beckett's. I don't know how many total there are. You look at it and you add up Beckett and PSA, and you're like, well, there's clearly going to be 1,531. No, there's not, because some of the Beckett's were cracking resubs to Beckett, and then a million zillion of these are Beckett's that were cracked and resub to PSA where they didn't turn in the label. So if you understand how pop reports work, there's probably not 1531. There's probably significantly fewer than 1531 combined. Now, the PSA pop report is quite likely accurate. The BGS pop report is almost certainly very inaccurate. Just kind of keep that in mind. If there's 1,203 at the peak, I bet you there's less than 1,000. I bet you there's actually less than 1,000 star cards in Beckett slabs right now. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me. Again, the gem rate, we know there's 3 9.5 Beckett's. We know there's no PSA 10 stars, and we know that the last star PSA 9 sold for $925,000. And then our good friend Dave, who's coming on the channel soon, he promised me he's doing some traveling, doing some some shows. He's coming on the channel. We're going to talk to Dave. He owns 2 of the PSA 9 Jordans. He's going to come on the channel and talk about that card and why he thinks it's the greatest ever. And I'll probably just sit here and listen rather than argue with him because he knows more about star cards than anybody that I've ever met. And so anyway, the Star Jordan PSA 6 wins the auction, and it ain't close, folks. It sold for $33,600. It actually was close. It barely beat the Kobe limited logos. Which of these 2 cards would you guys rather have? The Jordan Star 101 PSA 6 or the Kobe Bryant limited logos 8.5? They sold for a close number, but look at this chart, guys. That is a massive jump for the Star 101 PSA 6, and I don't know if maybe this is an exceptional copy. We can click into it and look at it. You guys know more about Star than me. I know usually the left border is the thin one and the right one's the thick one. This looks to be that. The left is the thin one and the right is the thick one, so the centering is what got it. There might be a little white mark up here at the top as well. I don't know how much you can zoom in. This is something beautiful with Fanatics. You can zoom in. That, to me, looks like a little defect right there, a little discoloration right at the top. Maybe there was something on the slab, but that looks like it's on the card to me. This is one of the beautiful things you can do with all the cards that are on here. If you want to know damn well what you're buying, you can look very closely and figure it out. Now, sometimes the images are so good that it's a problem. You can, sort of create defects that aren't really there. Like these corners, you're like, oh, those corners are white. Well, if you're holding it in your hand, you probably can't even see that unless you've got a kind of a microscope. But the back of these cards I always thought was kind of bland, but the corners look damn sharp on the back of this one, so a pretty cool looking PSA 6 copy right there. But just to give you an idea of what you can do on Fanatics Collect if you want to go look at it. This item was flashed, okay? So if you don't know what flash is, that means somebody changed their mind and they're like, you know what, I'll flash it in there. I'll put it in after the auction has already began. You can do that on Fanatics Collect. If you've got a card, if somebody does something, or for whatever reason you think somebody, maybe they got 2 triple doubles in a row and you've got one of their cards and you're like, oh, I missed the auction, it ends on Sunday, but it's like Wednesday. You can flash that card in there up to a certain time period and jump your card in there. Now, you don't get the benefit of the full, 10-day auction, but sometimes it makes sense. In this case, it made a lot of sense. This card did really well. 36 bids, $33,600. That's an impressive sale. That's it, guys. That's the end of part 2. I had to break it up into 2. It was going to be an hour and a half, something crazy like that. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. You will not see 2 parts unless something crazy happens again. I just saw all sorts of cards that we really needed to look up because it wasn't just Jordan setting records. It was Kobe. It was Steph. There were some other cards that looked to be rebounding, some other Kobe cards, some Durant cards, Carmel, there's all sorts of stuff that I wanted to talk about. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this 2-part, Fanatics Collect number 134 auction recap. Thank you guys so much for the support. Remember, the one way you can support the channel is the Cajun promo code when you're buying on Fanatics Collect Weekly Premier or Buy It Now Marketplace. If you're selling, on those on the Fanatics Collect Marketplace, the promo code is Cajun, C-A-J-U-N, all caps. You guys have a great week in and out of the hobby. I appreciate your time. I don't take any of you guys for granted. The only thing I would ask of you, other than the promo code, is hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon for notifications, and hit the like button on this video so YouTube can help me grow. So thank you guys so much for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. Peace.